Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. This video is all about how can you check love failures as per Vedic Astrology. So what is the combinations to check for love failures as per Vedic Astrology? So this is the prominent question that keeps coming across my emails, and also a lot of people keep putting the comments across my YouTube videos. So let me tell you what are the planets responsible and what are the houses responsible for romance and for love, for relationships. Ideally, 5th house takes the first rank to see whether this person is romantic or not. How strong, the stronger the 5th house, the stronger will be the person will be so romantic. Okay, and if at all, if you ask me about the planetary wise, the first place I would like to give for Venus, because Venus is the planet of love and relationships, and second planet is Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication. So these two planets should be staying stronger in your birth chart to ensure that your love becomes successful until marriage. So you might have seen a lot of people getting breaks in terms of marriages. It's because of the reason that these people have Venus plus Ketu conjunction, or Mercury plus Ketu conjunction, or Venus plus Rahu conjunction, or Venus plus Saturn conjunction. So this leads to love failures, especially if there is a relationship, if there is a strong connection between your 5th house and the 7th house, and the 7th house and the 1st house, or 1st house and the 5th house. It's a strong indication that this person might get into a love marriage. If at all any malefics like Rahu, Ketu, or Saturn is watching the 5th house, that is also considered that this person might have a breakage in the relationships. Okay, and more malefics in the 1st house, more malefics in the 7th house, that also leads to love failures. Okay, and a lot of people argue with me that 8th house also talks about relationships, but let me tell you, 8th house doesn't talk about relationships. It talks about the relationship with your in-laws. That means, let's say if you get married and for your spouse will be parents, right? So obviously the relationship with your spouse parents can be seen from the 8th house. But if you ask me of the relationship with your spouse, that can be seen from your 7th house. 7th house is considered as the most important place to check for relationships. But you ask me to check the life before the marriage, that is during the point of relationship or a love affairs, we have to analyze the 5th house. Who is the Lord of 5th house? Where exactly is the Lord of his 5th house is staying? Whether the Lord of 5th house is sitting in the positive sign, whether the Lord of 5th house is staying in the negative sign. Okay, all these things has to be thoroughly analyzed. And also, most importantly, we have to see the relationship between the Lagna chart and the Navamsha chart as well, because sometimes Navamsha chart will be giving you more indications than the Lagna chart. Let's say if at all Mercury is debilitated in your Lagna chart, you cannot come into a conclusion that this person is not a great communicator, because you have to check the alignment of Mercury in the Navamsha chart as well. What are the aspects the Mercury is receiving? Okay, how strong is Mercury in the Navamsha chart? All those things has to be thoroughly checked to analyze your birth chart to come into a conclusion that this person's Mercury is stronger or weaker. So lot many people just analyze the D1 chart, which is Lagna chart, and comes into a conclusion that so-and-so planets are weaker, so-and-so planets are stronger. But if you ask me, that you need to check the Navamsha chart as well to come into a conclusion. And most importantly, Moon also has to be checked. Why? Because Moon represents your mind. Moon represents charismatic personality. Whether this person's have the charisma, this person have that magnetism, whether this person have that attraction, all those things can be seen from the Moon. Because planet Moon represents your thought process, your mindset. So your mindset also should match with your spouse mindset, right, to have the relationship in place. And also you have to analyze the placements of planet Venus, Mercury and Moon in the male's birth chart with regards to Venus, Moon and Mercury placement in the female birth chart, to see how many houses the male's birth chart and the female birth chart are apart, to see the relationship, how stronger it is. And also degrees matters a lot. If at all any planet is weaker in your Navamsha chart, okay, but it is stronger in the birth chart, it means that until 30-35 years of age, your relationship, the first 30 from 1 to 35 years of your age, the relationship might be really stronger, but after 35 years of age, the relationship might become weak. So that's another way of analyzing the birth charts. Okay, so let's say if Navamsha chart is very stronger, Navamsha chart planets are very stronger, and Lagna chart planets are very weaker, that's an indication that from the age of 1 to 35 you'll be having a struggles, challenges, obstacles. There won't be much of growth and development. But after the age of 35 you'll rise yourself in career, relationships and finances and all that stuff. That's what gonna be seen when you analyze the birth chart in a different ways. Okay, so Venus, if it is placed in 5th house, 7th house, and the 1st house, gives success in relationships. Your love might lead to the marriage as well. Similarly, if malefics like Rahu, Ketu, or Saturn is placed in the 1st house, 5th house, and 7th house, there might not be, success in your love. They might not be, you might be getting into relationship, but that might not go until marriage. Okay, if at all strong malefics are placed in the 1st house and 7th house or in the 5th house, that would lead to multiple relationships. That means initial relationships might need to undergo failure, then you might get into a different relationships and you might land up into that relationship. Okay, this is one of the very complicated subject and very sensitive subject that I keep getting a lot of emails and comments under my YouTube videos. I just want to let you know. Okay, to summarize, your 1st house, 5th house, and 7th house has to be analyzed in your Lagna chart as well as in the Navamsha chart to come into a conclusion whether your love affair might lead to a successful marriage or not. And Venus plus Mercury combination that you have in the 1st house, 5th house, or 7th house, or let's say your 5th house having the Venus and the 7th house having Mercury and 1st house having the Mercury and the vice versa, that might also leads to love marriage, because Venus and Mercury grants love marriage to the native. Okay, any malefic seen on these planets, on these placements, might lead into love failures. Okay, so that's the conclusion I would like to give on this video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if at all you need my astrological consultations, please book an astrological consultation from the website www.vedicastrosats.com. and once you book for an astrological consultation, do send me an email by providing the details about your date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth, and I can able to analyze your birth chart. I can provide you the complete prediction analysis pertaining to your birth chart. Okay, so I'm sure you are excited to understand what exactly your Venus is doing, what exactly your Mercury is doing, what exactly your Moon is doing. So the link is mentioned in the description section. Do book for an astrological consultation. Once you get a consultation order, I can able to help you with the birth chart analysis. Alright, so thank you so much and see you in the next video.